Well, it's me and you, Andrew. Adam's away this week, isn't he, for the remainder of the week? So it's us on news.
I tell you what.
Is that a Wii U?
It's Wii U time, Sam.
What a console. And with that lovely slice of Nintendo, I don't want to say failure, but it didn't do too well. Let's look at the headlines. There's some major heat on a WWE Backstage talent. A big match has been pulled from Fastlane. And there's been a major injury during NXT's main event. Now, there are many things that can reportedly net you backstage heat within the realms of WWE, and now a report from Fightful Select is saying that Charlie Caruso has backstage heat after consistently being late to conduct interviews. What do you make of that, Andrew?
I mean, that is probably one of the biggest no-nos, isn't it, on live TV is not to turn up late for these things, because these things have got a set schedule, they've got to be done at a certain time. You have to consider the other people that you're in there with as well. You know, don't mess other people about, because they've got set schedules as well. The sun's coming in, Sam, already. It's coming in
Quick,
already.
Andrew, get yourself outside.
It's not a good look for her, but then also at the same time, I mean, you don't know if there's some other factors to that. Maybe some mental health things going on there that are preventing her to get into the tapings on time and stuff. But what do you make of this, Sam?
Well, it's just one of those things where, as you said, even if you're in a pre-recorded capacity, if you're recording VT to then roll out live on the show, so you're not actually backstage live when it shows it on the TV, you still, as you said, have to be there for a set time. You have to meet all of those, time constraints, because ultimately that entire day is scheduled down to the minute. Yeah. So you got to make sure. But apparently it was incidents with Randy Orton and Sheamus in particular that have caused bad feelings. Word has reportedly got back to Vince, and she was taken off TV as a result. And the report said that it's believed her WWE contract is also set to expire soon. So she's been with the company since 2016. She began on NXT before joining Raw. But yeah, I guess the big thing here is you can't be late. You just can't be late. So during this week's Raw, a massive match was set up, wasn't it, Andrew?
It's
big old
massive,
slimy. I don't even know.
Get your own back. Dave Benson Phillips, special guest referee.
But yeah, we had a match between Braun Strowman and Shane McMahon that was set up, made official, and it was all like, yeah, Fastlane. Now it's not. Nobody seems to know why. So the match has been removed from WWE's preview of Fastlane on WWE.com, and there's been no explanation as of yet. It could be, part of me is thinking that either this is sort of like a time constraint thing, where it's been like, well, maybe if we take one match off, or we do that, we can get all this extra time. But I think I'm sort of thinking and leaning in on the fact that apparently recently Mania went back to the drawing board, didn't it?
Yes.
Fastlane is the last stop before Mania, and Braun's too good to be throwing him in there with Shane for a random Fastlane match, surely. It seems like, he's the type of person we'd build to something for Mania with, whether it's this or, but I think it could use a little bit more build than just bit of gunge.
Yeah, that was literally my first thought, was perhaps they've taken this off here because they want to do something at WrestleMania. I don't know what that entails. I don't know if it's going to be like some sort of game show match, Sam, where they're jumping off like bouncy castles and all sorts of things, having like a Takeshi Castle style match or something. But it's a bit of a weird one, because I think maybe I'm speaking out of turn here, but like I think a lot of us wanted this match to be done with and out of the way. Maybe not have it at WrestleMania. But, I mean, if they are going to go to WrestleMania and actually put on a spectacle and do something fun with it, maybe that'll be all right. And maybe that will redeem this weird little storyline that's going on at the moment.
Well, I'll tell you what. If it's not Shane that Braun's going to face, there is somebody else. There's somebody else. He's making a huge return to the industry. He's coming out of retirement. It's the 1, 2, 3 kid. It's X-Pac.
Throw him
That's
up.
Right.
Throw him up.
So in an interview with Sports Illustrated, Sean X-Pac Waltman underwent knee surgery. He revealed that he underwent knee surgery back in January, and he's planning to come back to the ring. I said in the interview he underwent knee surgery. He's just like, yeah, guys, this sucks. His last match came in April of 2019 at WrestleCon's Mark Hitchcock Memorial Super Show, and he revealed his knee injury really affected the matches that he was having, and he needed to get that knee fixed, is what he knew. So he added to it that he didn't leave the business on his own terms. He wasted a lot of years of his life wandering around in the darkness, but he's grateful that he still has some time left. And to be honest, I'm all for this. I love X-Pac.
Have you seen that match as well from 2019? He's so fast and quick. He's not missed a step at all, and he's still really, really good. Takes bumps really well. Still can do moves really well. I think that's the good thing. Obviously, with like Edge and Christian and stuff coming back, I think it's lit a fire underneath a lot of retired wrestlers who have been retired because of injuries and stuff like that. And for them to be like, well, do you know what? Actually, maybe I can come back and do this. And for some of them, I think, it obviously is a risk because of what's happened in the past, and you want people to be all right. But I think Sean X-Pac has proved that he's still got a lot in the tank, and he's one of the exceptions of like you seeing older wrestlers coming back and actually making like doing really good things again. It's exciting.
Just one takeover match. Go on. Make him like a Liger spot. Just have him just come out and just have one. I'd love to see that. So in the main event of NXT last night, we had Finn Balor and Karrion Kross taking on Burch and Lorcan. And unfortunately, Lorcan was removed from the match with a suspected separated shoulder. There were medical professionals. It was pretty intense.
Yeah, it looked bad. It looked like Burch and Lorcan were going for a double suplex on Kross, and then Kross reversed it, and unfortunately Burch didn't get a full proper rotation over and landed
quite high. Yeah.
It did look pretty bad, and again with NXT, this is the thing. You see the champions start to get some momentum. People get momentum behind them, and then something goes and happens, Sam, and it's such a shame.
It's almost like a curse, isn't it? It is. But it's not, and we can't get bogged down in sort of thinking in that way. It's just very unfortunate. But I should probably add, so after the commercial break, it sort of happened, and we had a commercial break. The announcer stated that WWE Medical were attending to him outside of the ring. He didn't return to the match from that point. It's not quite clear whether he was pulled due to caution or whether he was pulled due to injury, and there's not been any official statement released so far, but PW Insider has said that the word making the rounds backstage is that it's a separated shoulder. So all the best to Danny Burch from us. I hope that he gets that fixed up and he can return to wrestling as soon as possible. And finally, are you ready to go and get on a plane to a country we can't go to probably and sit in an arena arena stadium, open air, full of loads of people? Andrew, you punched out Tiger Mask.
That's how excited I am, Sam.
Well, yeah, so we had the WrestleMania and everything that's been going on in the world. We all remember WrestleMania last year. No audience, no nothing. This year, WWE wants to, make good on the original plans for WrestleMania 36 and, have it in the same stadium, get some people involved. And originally, they wanted 45,000 people per night, which is insanity.
That's a lot.
I'm kind of over talking about this, but it's insanity. But yeah, the tickets were supposed to go on sale the other day, and then they were postponed because this was apparently due to changes in venue capacity. As I said, they wanted 45,000 in the venue each night, but capacity for next month's WrestleMania at Raymond James Stadium will approximately be 25,000 fans for each night. So it's just over a third full in terms of what it would usually hold. And yeah, it's obviously a significant reduction, but it's still a lot of people.
It is still a lot of people. The things that they've obviously put in here as well with they've got temperature checks and the pods and everything. They are obviously being very, very cautious about this at the same time. Hopefully people will be spread out a little bit more than obviously you see in a usual stadium setting. Yeah. And as long as they take the precautions, and obviously we've heard Vince has been taking precautions with wrestlers and stuff, perhaps obviously to make sure everybody involved in this whole thing is safe. But But yeah, I mean, just to have a crowd of that size back is pretty crazy to think about after so long now.
Yeah, as you said, with it being sort of a third full, you'd hope that means that it's going to be very, very spaced out, and maybe we'll get something similar to the Super Bowl where we have a lot of cardboard fans. But I'd imagine, if they were gonna sort of do something like that, they would have been, send us your pictures by now already. So unless they just use all those unsold cutouts.
That'd be so good.
15 different of the same wrestler in each row. Or they get, just a full row like in the old SmackDown games of people just doing this.
With signs and stuff. Yeah, that'd be so good.
But yeah, you'd hope they'll be able to keep it as safe as possible. But but we're gonna have at least some fan engagement this year. So fingers crossed it all gets executed safely and we can have a great time.
Yes.